Last week, Google did something no other major tech company has been willing to do. They handed developers a frontier-class model with genuinely zero strings attached. Meta's Llama? Free until you start making real money. Then Meta keeps leverage. OpenAI's open models? Bigger downloads, weaker benchmarks. But here's what makes this moment different. The 31 billion parameter Gemma 4 runs on a single consumer GPU with a 20 gigabyte download. That combination of power and accessibility under a truly unrestricted license has never existed before. Apache 2.0 explicitly disclaims all warranties. Every single one. So when Gemma generates bad financial advice inside your product, or biased hiring recommendations that get you sued, that liability lands entirely on your company. The license gave you freedom to build. It also gave you freedom to fail without anyone to call. And here's what makes it worse. Regulated industries need to document where training data came from. Google's model card for Gemma doesn't satisfy SOC 2 or ISO 27001 audit requirements. Your auditor won't care how open the license is. Most companies stop at the license. They read Apache 2.0, see total freedom, and move on. But freedom doesn't mean readiness. Take data residency alone. If your team fine-tunes on customer data, those model weights now carry regulated information. GDPR and HIPAA don't care that Google said you could use it. And here's what really keeps legal teams up at night. Apache 2.0 explicitly disclaims all warranties. When that model generates bad financial advice inside your product, there's no vendor to call. That liability is entirely yours. Think about what actually happens during fine-tuning. Customer emails, medical records, financial transactions. That data doesn't just influence the models. It gets mathematically encoded into the weight values themselves. You can't separate the data from the weights any more than you can unbake eggs from a cake. So when your fine-tuned Gemma sits on a server in Virginia, but your European customers' data shaped those weights, regulators see a cross-border data transfer. It doesn't matter that the original training files were deleted. The weights remember. And here's what catches most teams off guard. Deletion requests. Under GDPR, a customer can demand you erase their data. But how do you surgically remove one person's influence from billions of neural network parameters? Right now, there's no clean answer. That's the compliance gap nobody in the open source conversation is talking about. What makes this dangerous is the gap between what developers assume and what the license actually says. Apache 2.0 wasn't written for AI. It was designed for traditional software, where bugs are predictable and testable. But language models don't fail like normal code. They fail creatively, generating confident-sounding nonsense that looks exactly like real advice. And here's what catches companies off guard. There's no insurance product for this yet. Traditional software liability insurance doesn't cover AI-generated output errors. So when a model confidently recommends the wrong medication dosage or flags the wrong candidate, your company absorbs that cost with zero safety net. The community is already asking who pays when open-source models hallucinate in production. The license made that answer painfully clear. Every compliance framework boils down to one question. Can you prove what went into this system? Not what the vendor claims. What you can actually document. Google's model card for Gemma tells you the architecture, the benchmark scores, maybe some high-level training details. But when an auditor sits across the table and asks where the training data came from, whether any of it contained personally identifiable information, and how you verified that, a model card is not an answer. It's a marketing summary. And here's what makes this painful for regulated teams. Apache 2.0 gives you the right to use the model however you want, but your compliance obligations don't care about your rights. They care about your receipts. The license gives you freedom. Your auditor demands proof, and right now, there's a gap between those two things that no model card fills. Right now, somewhere in your company, a developer is downloading 20 gigabytes onto their work laptop. That's all it takes. No procurement request. No security review. No ticket filed. They saw the Fireship video, got excited, and 10 minutes later they're feeding customer support emails into a model your IT team doesn't know exists. This isn't theoretical. The same specs that make Gemma 4 revolutionary. A single consumer GPU, 10 tokens per second, Make it completely invisible to traditional software asset management. Your security tools scan for unauthorized applications. They don't scan for neural network weights sitting in a downloads folder. And unlike a rogue SaaS subscription, there's no vendor to call when something goes wrong. Every query, every output, every hallucination, that's your liability now, running silently on hardware you already own. Before your team touches a single deployment config, answer these 5 questions honestly. Each one maps to a failure mode we already covered. Missed data residency, and your fine-tuned weights could violate GDPR the moment European customer data touches training. Skip output monitoring, and your company owns every hallucination. Remember, Apache 2.0 explicitly disclaims all warranties. No provenance docs means your auditor sends you back to square one. Those scoring tiers aren't arbitrary. Teams in that middle range typically need 90 days, because building an incident response plan alone requires alignment between legal, engineering, and security. If you scored low, that's not failure. That's clarity about where to start.